Now, this fanfic contains some fetish, like latex fetish, and is inspired from RP I had in the past few months with my friend Amy. Don't hate, flame, or spam me asking me to do a sequel. Those will be ignored. Anyway, just enjoy that fanfic.
Smiley face.
Smiley face, yeah, right. Sealed forever. My name, space, ? Creepy creature. After countless years working on a project, I was able to build a space rocket and a space suit. It was always a dream of mine to go in space, be in zero gravity, explore other planets. One planet, however, I never planned to land on it. I had to crash land on a planet with latex lovers aliens on it because my rocket was damaged due to an asteroid shower. It all happened while I was sleeping. I had no choice but to crash land there and maybe have someone repair my rocket. But one thing I never knew is that those aliens took girls away as they crash landed on their planet. Unfortunately, I wasn't lucky that day.
Wow, period. It's been so long, my good friend. Now you see, there's sentences, and then there's whatever the hell that huge line was.
Yeah.
It's more than a sentence. It's like a whole, it's like a paragraph.
Yeah. As I got out of my rocket, aliens were waiting for me. I didn't even got the time to tell them I come in peace that they took me to their king. To my horror, the king decided they would seal me in latex forever.
That's such... Man, I would like to go to a place where they're just like... Alright, so... Like, imagine you showed up in a foreign land and they were just like, alright, seal them up.
It's like, by this point, you know exactly what you're going to get.
Yeah.
They stripped me from my spacesuit before encasing me in a tube of jelly first. I couldn't see anything at all in the tube. I was completely naked on the verge of suffocating because I couldn't breathe in the jelly. When they got me out, they told me I would never be able to go back to Earth. I begged them to let me go. I even cried.
Oh, shit.
But to no avail, the king already decided I would never go back on Earth. For me, it meant I would never see my friends, my husband Skipper...
Wait, what?
What?
Isn't this Growing Up Creepy?
Yes.
I've never seen Growing Up Creepy, but is, the main character married?
She's, like, 10.
Oh.
Whatever. Everyone that I knew, I would never see them again. The first part was a bit brutal.
Oh.
They required all the sealed girls to smoke.
What?
They forced me to smoke.
Here's a pack of Campbell's. Light up or you're gonna get it.
I don't understand this combination of fetishes. You get sealed in latex and then you get forced to smoke.
Man, it's like somebody like heard about S&M and they got the part that it was, you know, sort of like this slave thing, but they didn't actually count on the part where there was supposed to be sex. So they're like, oh, you're just... They're like, oh, S&M, you force people to do things, like smoke.
They forced me to smoke, and then they asked me to run the laundry for them. And then they taped 40s to my hands. No, okay.
What?
I just couldn't believe it. I wasn't a smoker before, but because of them I became one. The second part I was took to a room with vac bed in it. They shoved me into one, and before I could fight back, I was sealed in a vac bed. Oddly enough, even though I was completely sealed in it, I could still breathe, I could still breath normally.
How the hell does that work?
The king explained to me that they were oxygenated, and I was happy to hear that.
Oh, thanks.
I could have suffocated because I was completely sealed in it.
Alright, you remember how I asked, how the hell does that work? And that really didn't answer my question, because I want to know how the hell something can be vacuum sealed and oxygenated.
And oxygenated, yeah.
What the shit does that mean?
The third part was they colored the vac bed purple because they knew I loved purple.
How nice.
Somehow, even though I was completely submerged in the purple paint, I could still see what was happening.
Even though there was no air in there, even though I was completely sealed, I could still breathe, and even though I was covered in paint, I could still see what was happening.
The king explained that it was a special paint. No one can see me, but I can see everything. I begged him to be in transparent purple, and he agreed. They unsealed me from my purple vac bed, so now you're allowed to, like, have your own way, whatever. To seal me in a transparent purple
I'd say it's another contrast, because, like, you know, She can be in a vac bed, but still breathe. They put paint on it, but she can still see. She's a slave, but she can still have her own way.
Yeah. I was really happy because everyone would see me, and I would see everything as well. What? The final step was exposing me in a museum where aliens would see me and potentially buy me. They could also rent me as well, which means they could play with me and potentially penetrate me.
How is that a museum? I've never been to a museum where it's like, hey, we got this T-Rex skeleton. You want to rent it?
Yeah, you want to fuck it?
It's a freaking hit at parties.
The king told me that if I had to be pregnant, I would be transferred in an encasement catsuit for the pregnancy.
Alright, so what? We need, like, seriously, I'm trying to keep track of all these fetishes. So there's, like, latex, like...
Smoking.
Yeah, smoking, whatever the hell you call that thing where people aren't able to move a muscle. Catsuits, pregnancy.
Yeah, buying and selling.
Oh, being viewed, like being, like, people viewing you, so it's sort of like...
I really want to know how this RP went.
Oh, yeah,
like, was the author like, all right, now I want this to happen, now I want this to happen, and the other person was just like, okay, sure.
What the hell?
All right. Oh, God, you were right. I lost my place. It's one big paragraph. This whole thing is one big paragraph, guys.
Yeah.
All right.
It's pretty good.
Years passed, and I was still in that museum. People commenting on how my body was beautiful. I blushed every time it happened.
I blush every time.
Yeah, of course I knew that when the museum was closed, that meant we had to smoke all night.
What the hell?
At the last minute, it was a great surprise to see my husband Skipper come in the museum to buy me.
What? How did he get to outer space?
At the last minute for what? Years passed, so you had to spend the night smoking at least like a few thousand times.
It's long nights. Short days.
No, wait, maybe it's one of those planets where a year is shorter than a day.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like long nights.
Of course, the king gave him a device he could use to unseal me, but since I was too comfy, he never used it. That's right, I never got unsealed from my vac bed. The king also stopped my husband aging process. The vac bed had already stopped my aging process. I was thrilled to know we would be adults till the end of the world.
Wait, what? What did they think? Once you become an adult, you don't stop. It's not like if you keep aging, eventually you'll stop being an adult.
That fetish where you and I are immortal, but I'm stuck in a vac bed and you have to transport me around everywhere like I'm Han Solo.
I'm Han Solo.
Oh man, I'm getting my rocks off.
I'm Han Solo.
I'm also hanging on the living room wall like a picture frame. It's enjoyable.
Oh, sounds it.
The vac bed also preserved my body, which meant I could go at the bottom of our pool and feel the water and the pressure at 15 feet, which made the latex comfier because it was hugging me.
What? Actually, it should make the latex, you should just die.
I never got out of my vac bed ever. That is until my oxygen supply had depleted. What? I slowly suffocated before death got me.
It's not oxygenated anymore.
But I never... Yeah, the material broke down after 5 years. But wait, how long has it been? They're immortal now.
Yeah, God knows.
Whatever. But I never died. The vac bed preserved me, and I was still alive inside my vac bed.
I suffocated and died, but I didn't die.
But it didn't last long. 3 days after, I wasn't able to breathe anymore, and thus I slowly suffocated again. I was dead, sealed in latex, or so I thought. How is this even a fetish anymore? This is turning me off.
Well, by this time, this person's just like...
this person's rock hard, and the
like,
other person in the RP is just like, alright, it's your story
yeah, the
now.
one person's like in a perpetual orgasm. It's like, I'm dead. Now I'm dead. Like,
My oxygen supply stopped, but then I didn't die.
There's a few, like, normal fetishes in here, like, well, by normal I mean just popular, like catsuit, but not too many people have the dead fetish, or the vac bed fetish, or the sealed in latex immortal fetish.
Anyways, the king said to my husband that I had to be dead for at least 100 years before they could unseal me. 100 years passed and I was unsealed before being sealed in an encasement catsuit with unlimited oxygen
What a waste
supply.
of time everything that happens is.
I thought she was dead. How does she know any of this?
Or so you thought.
The king told us that I didn't had to be sealed in a vac bed anymore, but that I could be sealed if I wanted to. I happily agreed to be sealed in my vac bed again. Thus I was sealed forever again. Wait, how long has this king been alive?
Man, this...
Is he immortal too?
Like I said, this is just such a waste of time. First,
Whatever, it's still not done. But this time I could seal myself in it, and unseal it, but I never used that feature because I wanted to be sealed in latex forever, even if I had the encasement catsuit. I love not being able to move my arms and legs, but sometimes dream I could move again. I unsealed myself from the vac bed knowing I was still sealed in an encasement catsuit. What?
Man, like I said, this is all just one waste of time. First, I was in this thing, but then it started to not work, so I got into this other thing, and it worked. And then I didn't, and it could also do this, but I didn't like that it did that, but it doesn't matter, so I didn't do it.
Of course I was still smoking because I couldn't stop smoking.
She's smoking all the time!
You were dead for 100 years. I feel like your addiction would go away after that.
No, she was smoking while she was dead.
Right, she wasn't actually dead, somehow. But am still sealed in latex forever. The king even upgraded my catsuit so I could be a latex mermaid.
Fetish. Just tackle another.
And thanks to my husband, he built me an aquarium in which I swim every day in it. Still sealed in latex, but I can move around. Am still Creepy Creature, but now you can call me Creepy Creature the Latex Mermaid, or Creepy Creature the girl sealed in latex forever, but I love being called a latex mermaid more.
And that's the
end of story.
Yeah.
God, this had to be such a weird RP.
Man, I've actually read some weird RPs. Like, there's people who post RP journals, but this is the weirdest thing I've ever read.
Yeah.
Like, what the hell?
Guest reviewer Brandon says, "This is fucking beautiful."
Isn't it, though?
Oh my god, what the hell was that?
That was sealed forever by Emanu888. What a masterpiece.